Never quit, never surrender, and never say die on NJPW Strong. Hi again, everybody. My name's Chris Charlton, and welcome to Finish Strong, the show where every week we talk you through the highlights of the best hour of pure professional wrestling on the planet, speak to the big names, and give you a taste of what's to come, because Strong isn't finished until we finish Strong. Yeah, we're in the middle of a 2-week spectacular known as Never on NJPW Strong. And before we talk you through the highlights of this week, let's look at what you can see on next week's edition of NJPW Strong. You're going to see Fred Rosser versus Clark Connors. Clark Connors, the winner of Lions Break Crown, now looks to make a huge mark against a veteran in Fred Rosser who's yet to make his own mark on NJPW. So two guys really needing a huge win, and this should be a really fascinating match to see. Then you're going to see ACH versus Carl Fredericks, really embracing the open weight nature of Never. ACH, a veteran junior heavyweight, taking on the hot young rising heavyweight star Carl Fredericks. You're going to see that next week. You're going to see tag team action. The Gorillas of Destiny, Tama Tonga and Tangaloa will be meeting Flip Gordon, Brody King. GOD have been dominant on Friday nights, facing some, well, makeshift, interesting teams on paper, but now they face a dedicated tag team in Flip Gordon and Brody King. How will they fare? You're going to find out next week. And in a huge main event, we're going to talk to Rocky Romero in just a little bit on Finish Strong, and Rocky is going to be facing Jay White in our main event of Never. That coming up next week. But this week, Never kicked off with Mysterioso versus Danny Limelight. Again, that open weight conflict and confrontation. Danny Limelight, a thrilling, exciting junior heavyweight wrestler, taking on the veteran heavyweight luchador Mysterioso. And you saw everything that you're going to see from Never. Danny Limelight was spectacular. He was high-flying, he was aggressive, but there was too much Mysterioso. Caught Danny Limelight on a dive, sent him into the ring post, and shortly after, the MSO followed to kick us off on Friday night. TJP versus Hikuleo. Look at the size discrepancy in that one, but experience discrepancy as well. You're going to see veterans versus young guns, as well as junior heavyweights versus heavyweights, and certainly this was the case. Hikuleo, a big young gun for Bullet Club, but TJP, very well-rounded, very experienced. Great grappling from TJP. Look for that heel hook, look for that Achilles hold, but in the end, Hikuleo too much. The gunslinger picking up victory for the young gun tonight. PJ Black versus Alex Zane was up this week as well. Two guys very well matched, but again, that difference in experience level was what paid off. Some incredible, innovative offense this Friday night, but in the end, Alex Zane was able to evade the placebo effect, but he couldn't escape the bad habit from PJ Black. A spectacular finish this Friday. And it all capped off with David Finlay and Jeff Cobb versus Kenta and Chase Owens. Now, we talked before about, are there cracks showing in Bullet Club's armor? That all started last week with the victory for the Hontai team in the elimination tag team match. But here, David Finlay and Jeff Cobb. Finlay was able to fight off both Kenta and Cobb almost single-handedly during this one, while Jeff Cobb was recovering from that leg injury. But in the end, it was Tour of the Islands delivered to Chase Owens by Jeff Cobb to give a huge victory for Finlay and Cobb tonight. Is there trouble in Bullet Club? Well, let's hope, thinks Rocky Romero at least. Rocky Romero hopes there are cracks in Bullet Club's armor as he faces the leader on Friday nights in Jay White. To talk about that match, here's Rocky Romero right now on Finish Strong. So next Friday night, 10 Eastern, 9 Central, a huge main event on NJPW Strong as Rocky Romero takes on Jay White in the main event of NEVER Night 2. Rocky Romero joins me right now, and this is immense. This is a huge main event coming up next Friday night.
No, absolutely huge main event. Finally get my pause on Jay White. I mean, it's a long time coming, Chris. You know that. I know that. Fans know it. Finally.
Yeah, that's right. And no Gedo to get involved either.
Precisely. I wish he was there. I would have made it a 2-on-1 match just like Okada did. I would have slapped them both around. You know what I'm saying?
So I can feel already you're very much in high spirits, and all coming off that elimination last week on NJPW Strong, which, you know, I can sense you're still you're riding that wave. You're riding that high at the moment.
I'm definitely riding that high. Hey, for me, a win is a win, right? And to get a huge victory over somebody like the Switchblade Jay White in those circumstances, it means a lot to me because it's a moral win. It's a moral victory finally for the good guys. And I feel like Jay has been, tormenting chaos and everybody else for so long that finally somebody had to do something about it. And it was me.
But I mean, to speak to that, Bullet Club, so dominant. Ever since NJPW Strong started back in August, it's been main event after main event. There's been really no weaknesses, no cracks in that armor until, the last couple of matches, the last couple of weeks. Is that the feeling in the sort of, I've been calling it NJPW of America Hontai, although it isn't really. You're kind of very disparate parts. But is there kind of a group feeling of, we might be able to get one up on these guys?
No, absolutely. I think you hit the nail on the head, Chris. I feel like, for so long, the Bullet Club has played their numbers game so well on NJPW Strong. So we really had to band together. And up until recently, and with great leaders like David Finley, Jeff Cobb, who have really stepped up, I think, and a couple other players, Carl Fredericks. So we've really had to come together and really unite to fight off this Bullet Club presence. And I feel like this is just one of many big moral victories that we're finally getting. And I can't wait to take it to Jay White this Friday.
And for you personally, I think last year in Best of the Super Juniors, that was a rebirth of Rocky Romero in many people's consciousness in terms of how well you could still go. And here we have Jay White, and we're recording this just before the G1 Climax 30 final weekend, and he is going to be in that mix. For you to get a win over someone at that level of competition, this has to be huge for you in a very major way for your career.
I feel like a win would be the ultimate, right? That would be the mega. But I feel like there's still a lot of haters and still a lot of people that I need to prove something to. And I think it starts with Jay White. I think he doesn't take me seriously. I think he doesn't respect the things that I've done in the professional wrestling world and in New Japan Pro Wrestling. And he's just a young, smug kid. And I'm going to slap the taste out of his mouth. And this Friday, you're going to see an amped up Rocky Romero give it his all and take Jay White to the limit.
All right. Thanks so much, Rocky, and best of luck next week.
Thank you very much, Chris. See you all later.
So a tremendous main event coming up next week. You don't want to miss it. NJPWworld.com next Friday, 10 Eastern, 9 Central. Rocky Romero takes on Jay White one-on-one in singles competition. Okay, but talking about the biggest in singles competition, G1 Climax 30 is just about wrapping up, coming behind us on NJPWworld.com. So we look to the future, and we're going to be on the road to the event known as Power Struggle. It's going to be coming up some great live action on NJPWworld.com from Korakuen Hall, and then it all leads to Osaka and the Edion Arena November the 7th, Saturday on NJPWworld.com. So do not miss the second on the king of sports streaming services. So much to look forward to on NJPWworld.com, so much to look forward to on Finish Strong, where next week Tamatonga will join us on the show. Until then, go kigenyo, sayonara.